Hello and welcome. I'm Annette Reeder from the biblicalnutritionist.com. And today it's all about Ozempic. You've heard the commercials, you've seen friends who have just dropped 15 pounds like with doing nothing, but is it really worth it? Well, we're going to talk about some warning signs that you need to watch out for. You need to understand what's going to happen in your body by taking Ozempic. This is a very serious decision, and we want you to be well informed. We want you to understand what's going to happen to your body when you do, but yet we always offer encouragement and hope. One, to look at other options, and we have some suggestions for you. And two, if you have gone and taken Ozempic, we can help you to start the healing process again. So thank you for letting me share this with you and sharing God's recipe for excellent health. Well, today I have joining me Dr. Jay Hitson. She's amazing. You've heard her on all of the other videos. We talked about Hashimoto's and thyroid and so many topics that are near and dear to your heart. And she's one of our keynote speakers at the Biblical Wellness Retreat. Wait, you mean you haven't signed up for that yet? Why not? We still have a few seats open depending on when you're watching this video because it is limited seating. Check out the website biblicalwellnessretreat.com and get signed up for that. Meeting in person is so much better than just watching us on the screen because we can give you real answers in person. If you go to that website after this October 24 event, sign up anyway and we'll get you notified as soon as we have our next retreat coming up. Now, as I said, I have Dr. Jay Hitson joining with me today, and I know you already know her, you already love her. So welcome back, Dr. Jay, and this is a very important topic about Ozempic.
It really is. Thank you for having me. I mean, I've been getting so many questions about should I not, and what is this? So I'm excited to be able to expand into it today.
That's really good. So tell us, why should we not do Ozempic, or should we do something else first?
Well, okay, let's just break down and let's just go with the data that even the people from Ozempic are putting out. In general, you are going to, with Ozempic, people are losing about 14 to 15 pounds. Now, just think about that, 14 to 15 pounds. And that's kind of a top end range that they're even saying in this. Now, obviously, there's going to be side effects. We all know that there's going to be there's the adverse reactions. Let's just first of all, is it worth 15 pounds for what could be potentially happening? I want to I was just at a medical conference, I mean, just months ago, and the speakers were getting up and they were actually speaking on how amazing all of this is. And they were getting into like, this is the wonder drug that we have been looking for. We haven't seen numbers like this, and it's so safe, it's so effective. And I mean, the presentation was glorious, and I was starting to get into it. And it was fascinating. So I'm sitting there, and I've got my medical director sitting right next to me, and he's 20 years my senior. And I leaned over to him and I said, "What do you think? I mean, do we need to really consider this?" And he turned to me and looked and he said, "I've heard this exact same speech about every weight loss wonder drug that has ever come out that has then been taken off the market because it harms too many people. This is the same speech. When are we going to learn our lesson? When are we going to get off this merry-go-round?" And I was floored when he said that. And that's again back to I love the voice of experience. Somebody who's been there, who's been in the rooms for decades and has seen it come and seen these things go. And so when he said that, I'm like, okay, so obviously, that dampened my enthusiasm, for what we're doing. But you know what? It wasn't even just a few months later, we started to see the lawsuits coming out. And can I say, that's pretty quick. I mean, typically with these different medications, as they're coming up and they're making news, and it usually takes like 10 years, 15 years before we see the side effects really come to fruition. And to see within months and barely years already. Right now, the lawsuits are, regarding like pancreatitis, vision, loss of vision, and kidney failure. So that was very, very quick. That was a lot quicker than what we're used to seeing. So there are definitely some really serious consequences that you have to consider for what even they put out as, 15 pounds of weight loss.
As someone who's suffered with being overweight and then having to make the decision, okay, what am I going to do about this? Taking a drug for weight loss. And I did it. I totally did it when I was a young mom. I did the fen-phen route
Mhm.
and I ended up with a heart murmur. And you have to ask yourself, was it worth it? And then as I looked at my kids, I'm like, okay, at some point in time, I have to come to the decision that reaching for every weight loss solution that's out there, every over the counter or every prescription is really not the answer. We have to get to the root issue. And as I share in my original, how I began this journey, it was getting back into God's word and then following 3 simple principles. And then I dropped 60 pounds over that 1 year in without even thinking about it. It just started going away. I didn't get that effect. I didn't get that blessing by reaching for every pharmaceutical option that's out there. And so when I saw Ozempic come on the display and on the television commercials, and you can get it anywhere, I realized, oh, we're heading into another problem because that's not the root of the problem. It's just a quick fix. And so many times, all we want is a quick fix. Forget the quick fix. Let's go for long-term success. And then you'll have the happiness you want and you won't be sacrificing your body in the meantime. So I sacrificed my heart. Your people on Ozempic are sacrificing their kidneys, their pancreas, and you have to have those. You end up with diabetes or more progressive diabetes when you are interfering with your pancreas. So well said, Dr. J.
So, and here's one of the interesting things, even on their websites, for those who, have weight loss greater than 15 pounds, they will say that it goes up to 20%. Now, at first that sounds like a lot, 20% body pound loss. But look, for instance, if you weigh 300 pounds, that'd take you down to 240. But they put in the note very, very clear that's with a 1,200 calorie diet and exercising regularly, like 5 times a week. Okay, now let's just do the math here. If you are on a 1,200 calorie diet and are exercising that frequently, chances are you're going to lose 15 to 20% of your body weight just there without having to put yourself at any kind of risk with these different drugs. So just take that into account. Yeah, there are reports of people losing up to 50 pounds, but they're monitoring their diet. And can I just say this? First of all, prove it wrong before you go and you take Ozempic or anything else. Prove that a 1,200 calorie diet and exercising don't work. Just prove it first. And here's one of the things I will tell you, I run into individuals who really can't lose weight, even when they drop their calories down and whatnot. Now, I'm going to put a caveat on there. They need to eat 1,200 calories the way you tell them to eat 1,200 calories. I mean, your teachings are phenomenal in that. And I mean, and that's the way we need to eat the 1,200 calories, full of good foods that God created, not these artificial processed low fat, low calorie things. So for what it's worth, I want to throw that in there, but prove that a 1,200 calorie diet won't work. Now, if it doesn't, even before we go to, again, a weight loss drug, there's probably something physiologically wrong that you're not releasing fat. Okay. And there are physiological reasons why you're not losing weight. And I use blood work to find them because it shows up in the blood work. So it could be your thyroid, that we know that one. It can be your hormones. We test for that as well. It can be inflammation. So we definitely want to test for that to see if inflammation is an issue. It could also be just improper glucose management that's keeping you back. A lot of people are losing muscle mass. So you're losing muscle mass, you're affecting your metabolism, and then that's showing up. And I have tests that I run to understand that. The biggest one the biggest one that we really see this all reversing around, it's malabsorption. Malabsorption. So your body is not absorbing the nutrients you need. So it's constantly hungry because it's saying, please, I need that vitamin C. I need those vitamins. I need those minerals. And so you're constantly hungry because of malabsorption. And here's one of the things. Ozempic, one of the top side effects, constipation, diarrhea, nausea, bloating. It's going to induce malabsorption. So you get on this, you get going in that process, you're going to gain the weight back because now you're in a deficient, depleted state, and your body's not going to allow that. So it's going to say, feed me, feed me, feed me. And it's just going to come right on back. So that's one of the biggest things that I look for, especially when somebody's just like, I cannot lose weight. Malabsorption. Are you taking it? And is that why you're continuously finding yourself hungry, needing more, and why your body just won't release fat? Because there's just not enough fuel.
Oh, and you can just so see when we understand the gut microbiome, malabsorption, that's the beginning of so many other issues. So you may be, okay, I was able to lose 15, 20 pounds. This is great. But then now you have more anxiety symptoms. You have more nervousness. You have more links to depression. You have all of these other issues that are escalating. And you're wondering, okay, I lost weight, but I am angrier more because we interrupted that microbiome. And we have to have a healthy microbiome to process life with still having a smile on our face at the end of the day, which you will not have when your microbiome is all upset. And then you come home angry and it's like, you want to feel happy, but you can't. Well, then let's go back and rebuild the microbiome. But first of all, we need to go back and we need to relook at what are you feeding your body? Let's go back and heal the microbiome. So this is like, if you've been on Ozempic, and you're ready to heal, then let's go back and heal the microbiome.
Absolutely. And for those who did go this route, okay, it's all right. Maybe you did go that route. Maybe you've gained the weight back, or maybe you're just rethinking, or again, there's a lot of reports again of the side effects and people just not liking the side effects and how it makes them feel. Actually, one of the top when you go into the Google, one of the top things that hits is, this quote, "I feel terrible all the time now." So what do you do? Well, we have to, first of all, get an assessment on, okay, how did it impact you? Because there's not like one way that any medication affects every single person. So how are your kidneys doing? Are your kidneys okay? Do we need to know that? What are the signs of kidney damage? You don't really know until it's too late. So you really do have to go and get the test for that. You need to see what happened with your digestive system. Where is that? What's happening with your inflammation markers? Are you showing pancreatitis? Anytime you see the word itis means inflammation. So what is happening with your inflammatory markers as you're going through? So now first of all, let's go back. Let's just make sure everything's okay as far as, or not. Let's get that reversed as soon as possible. And then let's go back and find out the root cause of why you're really not dropping the pounds. And again, that goes back to, is it muscle mass? Is it glucose? Is it hormones? Or is it malabsorption? It's always going to come back to the root cause. But just to your point, Annette, when you lose weight the right way, you feel great. You feel great all the time. You feel that mental alertness. You really do have joy because you're doing the right things and you can feel it in your body.
That is so true. One of my testimonies was once I was able to get the food under control, my marriage started improving. It's like, from the food? Well, it's the reason why I was eating and the foods that I was eating. When you really start poking holes at that microbiome, it affects every area of your life. And so you're not just angry at yourself and causing all the shame and doubt over silly things, but you're now shooting darts at everyone around you. So when I healed my microbiome, when I started eating healthy, when I started dropping weight, my marriage improved. It's just how it works. And so we're able to function and just live our life so much better. I hope this has been encouraging for everyone watching who's thinking about Ozempic or who already made that decision and is trying to heal back. you mentioned, hey, try the 1200 calories first, try the exercise first. I wanted to point out my book, Hunger Satisfied Journal. And if you buy it from our website, you get the spiral bound. If you get it on Amazon, it'll just be the other bound. And this is just an excellent book because we need to identify why you're eating, how much you're eating, how much do you really need to eat. So it's all about understanding your hunger signals, your satisfied signals. And when you follow the instructions exactly how I worked it into this program, you're going to start identifying other triggers. Are there food triggers? Are there food sensitivities? All of that contributes to weight gain. If we can identify that and you recognize, okay, every time I eat that specific meal, the next day I'm just foggy thinking, I've got itching, then we know there was something in those ingredients that's contributing to your weight gain or your other issues. So we can start identifying it without any expensive test. So this book will save you so much money, and it will be such a blessing to look at and to read after you've been able to use these steps to lose weight. And it's just about how we've written this into the perfect journal for losing weight. So I highly recommend that as well.
And, Annette, you were mentioning before, but, we're going to be talking about all of the things you just mentioned at the retreat. And it is very exciting whenever we can do this in a live setting. I mean, I think I was mentioned this before. I love when we can just talk, one on one and really get into the real issues here for people. And we'll be getting into everything that you just mentioned there. I'm slated to be speaking on weight loss and just all of the things that, I did regenerative medicine for so many years, and I had to get very good at consistent weight loss, because if you have bad knees, well, you can't be 300 pounds. Those two things don't go together very well. So if you want to correct a bad knee, you got to get the pounds off of it first. And so, we did just so much work of how to get healthy and how to do this, to do it the right way and the way that lasts and the way that makes you feel really good. So I'm really excited to see so many of the community at the retreat as well, and really dive into the topic so much more.
That is so true. What we get to do in person is so much different than what we can do on the internet. And it is the atmosphere alone is just going to start the healing process. And the people that come and spend 3 days, instead of, surfing the internet looking for answers, they're going to walk away with such a personal plan, a personal menu just for them that starts the results from the moment they start it. So it is so much different to be in person than it is to be able to ask questions online. I just want to thank you, Dr. J, for another great episode. And Ozempic is a topic that everyone needs to understand. It's not just a quick weight loss. It is a long time decision when you start taking that medication, and it will affect your body. There's no way that you're going to get through that without it affecting your body. It does affect your body. How bad? That depends on your health balance. But please consider other options first. And I love how you said, prove it wrong. And well said, totally well said. This should be a t-shirt or something, but prove it wrong. And we did that with my husband. The doctor was insisting he gets on this cholesterol medication. We said, no, we'll do it with diet and exercise. He says, no, you can't do it. It doesn't work. Well, we did. We proved him wrong, and never once taken the cholesterol medication and never once needed it. And with the blood pressure medicine too, we just diet, exercise, and just speaking God's word. And that was the answer that we needed. And it worked. And we're now 20 years past that threatening time in the office where we were faced with so many medications. And we said, nope, we're going to prove it wrong. And we did. And everyone watching, you can too. Recognize God created your body to heal. He's given us the right foods to bring that healing. And I know what you're going to say, the food has changed. The food still heals. And we can teach you how to find the right foods, how to prepare the right foods, how to enjoy the right foods, and give your body what it needs, because he's still the Lord of all. And he still is the one who heals. He's our Jehovah Rapha. And as long as we recognize that, we're not limited by income. We're not limited by resources, because he is still Lord of our life. So anything else you want to share, Dr. J?
Yeah, believe in the power of the human body to do what it needs to do. God created us to always be healing, and we are actually created to have a healthy, natural, set point for our weight, as long as we don't interfere. As long as we just do what we need to be doing, eating the foods that he told us to eat, we will hit that beautiful natural set point that is your perfect place where you're the healthiest. Trust it and just believe in the power of your body and believe in yourself to be able to achieve that.
Thank you so much. And I just want to reiterate, so if you've had Ozempic as one of the drugs that you have chosen to take, we really need to get your blood panels done. Check the link down below for Dr. J's panels that she recommends, because you don't just get the blood work. You can get blood work anywhere. You get specific blood work so that you can watch specific markers, and you get to book time with Dr. J Hitson, and she's going to share with you what you're doing right and then encourage you on what changes you can make. That's valuable. So be sure and check the blood panels down below. Also check the Hunger Satisfied journal. That's going to help you see your natural weight point where you need to be. And definitely go to the biblicalwellnessretreat.com. I can't wait to see you in person. Let's have a hug and definitely share a cup of tea together, because food's always included in our retreats. And you're going to love it. It's just a great time. We need to step away from the chaos and step into the calmness of what God wants you to hear at that retreat. Check it out, biblicalwellnessretreat.com. And until next time, thanks for joining us here at The Biblical Nutritionist and learning more and more about God's recipe for excellent health. Thanks for watching.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to your journey towards reclaiming your health and rediscovering God's answers. I'm Annette Reeder, the Biblical Nutritionist, and I'm thrilled to invite you to our Biblical Wellness Retreat this October 3rd through the 5th. Are you struggling with cancer, infertility, or simply just seeking a deeper connection with the Lord? This retreat is designed just for you. We're deep diving into biblical truths and ancient flavors that will help you reclaim your health both physically and spiritually. Imagine a setting where you can connect with others who truly understand your journey, where you're going to learn cutting-edge techniques for overcoming health challenges, and where you're going to rediscover the joy of God's presence. Together, we'll explore God's cellular design and how you can feed it for immediate changes, and how to know what is happening in your blood and why it matters. Our goal is to help you heal and reclaim your health, to leave the retreat with a personal plan that you can start immediately. Now, space is very limited, so don't wait. Click the link below to secure your spot and take the first step towards prospering and being in good health, as it says in 3 John. I can't wait to see you there.